today, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
And off we go from Denver. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they'll regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping it for a loss.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now Austin. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start on the ground with Harris, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. Calling it 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. The Steelers at 11-4 now on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake.
Get this guy out the fucking game. Damn, what? What is wrong with this dude?
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
I like the strategy. Extra tight
I
ends,
don't know what's
extra
wrong with
beef.
that
They
guy.
want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Oh, this guy
and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice job there, forcing that
He was
incompletion.
here.
This is going to be
He
a
was
fun
here.
battle throughout this game.
That's an easy.
Watching him
I mean,
try
that's
to
just
take
easy.
away that area of the field.
That's just easy. And he dropped it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll put Fuller in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and
fucking dropped it.
incomplete.
That was pretty nice to watch. As
God
he matched
damn it, he
around
dropped
with
it.
the receiver and stayed right there, stuck to him like glue, almost hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, helped force the incompletion.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Duncan. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Now it's Wilson. He finds his target, Beckham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This defense for the Steelers, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Oh, wow.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs, but still a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system, but still a nice spot to be in.
Moore, the man in motion. To throw from his end zone. Honeycutt. He's got this to Williams, complete. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. Called it a very strong gain of 24.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Now a first down carry for Harris. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him.
Wow.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They do get 5 there, but it's not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
Now, that's a defensive coordinator's nightmare right there. You're covering everyone, and the guy's not even the intended receiver ends up making the play.
Right place, right time, I guess.
When that ball's tipped up in the air like that, you've got to go up and get it. Offense and defense, and in this case, the offense ended up grabbing it.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
So a bold call, but this drive will forge on. 1st and 10 after the 4th down conversion. Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Honeycutt. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Harris running straight
God
ahead.
damn it.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
You got to fight to repeat. You got to fight to repeat. You got to fight to repeat. The algorithms are in their favor. You got to try to fight through it. The algorithms are in their favor.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, Honeycutt.
Oh, shit!
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th
down.
down.
Fight for it. You see what it is. You see what it is. You see what it is, right?
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Keep zigzagging. Good job!
Back to the house.
Good job.
Recovery for a Steelers score.
Good
That's a
job.
linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6
That
points
ball's
out.
out.
I know that
That
a
ball's
great
out.
play.
Good job.
Defensive unit.
Defense.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough. Stop it for no
Be
gain.
nimble, Jack. Be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles Wilson hit.
God
It's loose.
damn it!
It's out. Fumble. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
Damn
You're
it.
right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession.
Down.
You
Get
know,
the
if we
ball,
often talk about the
TJ.
combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Being chased out left. And he wisely will throw that one away. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Austin. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And they will take over first and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's another carry for Harris. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the gun on third down. Honeycutt. And this one complete to Will Fuller.
Good job, Will Fuller.
Inside the 20. And all
Good
the
job,
way
Will
inside
Fuller.
the 15 before they drop him. Only took him 3 plays, and they're already in the red zone, just like that.
I see you, Will Fuller. Back shoulder throw.
Good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. Third down, showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receivers understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
I can't think.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise. They picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Breida will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers.
Good job. Raji. Oh, shoot. Where is
a solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You don't
down.
want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the 29, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Wilson hit. It's
Good job.
loose. It's out. Fumble.
Good job!
Shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Moore, the man in motion. Following the fumble recovery, Honeycutt. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in.
Wow.
2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Moore, the man in motion. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Honeycutt. He's airing it out for Williams.
Good job!
In the end zone.
17?
Touchdown, Steelers. Preston Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half.
Spiral.
I'll let you do the
What a
analysis,
grab,
partner. But with every
17.
touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the position.
Oh, good God almighty.
Only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Wilson. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Najee Harris and the rest of this offense work their way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few.
Take it to the half. Take it to the half. Take it to the half.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
Bengals win. Okay, Bengals.
From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
Terry McLaurin, a good game there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. J.K. Dobbins, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang at Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season, but that first round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2, you get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run again with Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 68 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, here's Breida. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a give. Running left is Harris. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's Harris, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren, and he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 38.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he will have a Steelers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run with Harris. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run again with Harris. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 90 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Shit, that's why. That's why, you big dummy. Oh, shit. I was wondering why that guy didn't carry the ball.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
Switch. Check. Watch it. Watch it. Check. 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 Watch it. Check
They'll run. Here's Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Yep, no problem. No problem.
But a good play is made on defense. Oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned. All the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
Let's go.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
19 Tiger.
Breida, they'll go up the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run with Harris.
Good job.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive.
Damn. Let's go.
Right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right. That is incomplete.
I'm sure there was a tough halftime trying to figure out some
I ain't
strategy
taking
to
this
get
lick.
things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wilson steps away to his left. And look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And a loose football.
Hey, look, I told that guy he better not try to run again.
Take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
We're running out of run plays, so we gotta come up with something, right? Dang. I don't like it.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Following the fumble recovery, Honeycutt got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. But with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Honeycutt. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Look at this shit, man.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give coming right is Breida. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20.
Take it to the 4. Take it to the 4. Take it to the 4.
The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
How many times? This game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now a 1st down carry for Harris, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a give running left is Breida. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Steelers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Well, coaches come to a game preaching total team effort, CD. I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
That thing set up for, ooh, and I like it. Hey, look, I'm going to like it either way.
Now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Let me run it by you. Chiefs and Raiders, baby. I'm going to love it. Just one more
time.
This
will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And I like
so the Broncos coming out now. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Setting up just like he wanted it to.
Here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
The offense on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Wilson.
Oh, man. I'm going to do it off that guy.
But he does have 1st down.
That guy threw it off.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
I see Honey
They're staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first.
Hey, look.
He's ready
Tell
to
you
pull
what.
the trigger on a keeper the moment.
You better hand it off and throw it this time, buddy, because you won't be so lucky next time.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Outright, this one goes to
I got a business decision.
They'll get him down on the other side of it.
I understand. Look, I understand, man.
About the length of the football here on 2nd down. Now Wilson.
Hey, man. Didn't I tell you, man? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you not to do that? Ross, didn't I tell you not to do that?
Right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Ross, I told you not to do that.
Been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover.
Pause. Let's get come on, Pickett. Get you some snaps. Breida. We'll leave that like that. Let's pick it. Oh,
not
shit.
one that
Oh, man, we still need 31 yards, man. We need 31 yards of offense.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0.
We need 31 yards of offense. You can't go on the shoot clock yet, bitch. Damn.
3 tight ends in the ball game
We
here.
need
On
31
first
yards
and
of
10.
offense, guys.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll put Fuller in motion right. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris.
Oh, wow.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback.
Oh, this
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
fucking ball.
Here in the fourth
God
quarter,
damn it.
Really big. That pass and incompletion. I don't think they needed the
the
completion,
fuck,
but Charles,
man?
this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on
I
all
mean,
cylinders.
just drop
Yeah,
it.
you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any
We,
more points.
yeah, we do need a
They're
completion,
not going to turn
bitches.
them down. They're
God
going to continue
damn.
to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. Pass complete.
Right.
George Pickens with it. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 18. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
Bullshit.
And I
Shut
know
your
my
dumb ass
background
up. This
says,
is
why do you
3rd
need
down.
to do this?
Give
Just
me
go
the ball
run out
back.
the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the give, this is Harris. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Oh, man. I don't like this. I don't like this.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
This shit almost never works, man.
Up the middle they go. Warren. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Harris, touchdown,
Good job,
Pittsburgh.
Najee.
CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Boswell for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 23. He'll set up to throw from the gun, finding Sutton on the out route who makes the catch. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted.
You can't do that, man. You can't do that, man. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. You can't do that, man.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And they'll indeed take a knee. Take a knee.
All right, guys. Good job.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the
Good
other
job,
one,
guys.
obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for the Steelers, they solidify their spot in the playoffs as they run their mark to 12-4 on the year. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew.
Good job,
we'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
12. No interceptions, though. No interceptions.
Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the Riasi, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boy stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not a ride nobody with, we the ones who started with it. Translation,
right.
Yanni had to buy, Yanni had get hits.
Get ready to advance.
Even the ops go with it, that's how you know we lit.
Ready to advance.